What up, though? It's your boy Beastie Bish. Welcome to another episode of A Backer in Boxing. Okay, I'm finna break down this Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford fight once and for all. Alright, but first I want to get into the personalities of both. And we gonna find out at the end of the day what power, what source of strength is more powerful than the other. The source of strength where you get it from, like, mainly from yourself, or the type of strength where you get it for because you're doing it for other people, right? And I want to say both of these guys are narcissists, egotistical freaking serial killers, right? You got to have some screws loose to box in the first place, right? So that goes without saying. These dudes is, they ain't got their screws all the way loose, and all the way tight, and that's, that's par for the course. All right, but I heard Spence in his interview talk about how he feels about losing. And he was saying, obviously he'd be upset, but how he'd rationalize his loss is that, the idea that people around the world don't have all of the luxuries that he have, and all of these people are struggling and going through their real life issues, and you just worried about you losing the fight. And I feel like that's a way out for Spence. I feel like he's giving himself a way out. I mean, when it really comes down to it, when he got to take it to a place that he never has had to take it before, I feel like he gave himself a way out, because at that moment he could just say, hey, I'm okay. People in Haiti, hungry kids in Haiti is doing worse than me. It's not that bad. Whereas Crawford, on the other hand, I feel like he's putting it on himself, and what he believes about himself and the image that he has of himself, that's what is his fuel. So he can't really think about losing as much, because the thought of it is damaging. And I think the question you have to ask is, will you be willing to fight harder, or be willing to die for yourself or for someone else? And I think to answer that question, I could be wrong, but I think it's when you fight for yourself, right? Because everything we do is for ourselves. When we eat, it's for ourselves, because our body is hungry. When we drink, it's for ourselves. When we breathe oxygen in our goddamn lungs, it's for ourselves. We can't breathe for nobody else. You know what I'm saying? Most things you do in the world is for yourself, or you benefit somehow. Even when you do something, a charitable act, whatever you do, man, at the end of the day, for the most part, you benefit. So I'm going with you'll fight harder. You'll push the line further if you're doing it for yourself versus somebody else. When you add somebody else into it, I feel like that's just a way out. Now, with this type of personality, I believe that Spence, he likes winning. His competitive nature comes from, he likes to win. And I believe Crawford's competitive spirit comes from, he don't want to lose. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you got some people who just love to win. They don't like to lose either. They love to win when they don't like to lose. But they love to win more than they hate to lose. And then there's some people who like to win, but they hate losing more than they like winning. And I think Crawford is one of those guys who hates losing more than he loves winning. And we'll see if that type of personality, that type of mindset, that type of approach will be more powerful. We gonna find out. And I'm the type of competitor. I'm more like Terrence Crawford, where I love to win. I like to win, but I hate losing more than I love to win. And so I ain't trying to lose. I go to the ends to win. And I put that on myself. I ain't putting it on nobody else. You know what I mean? And you see sometimes some of my buddies, who made it to the league as well, and I ask them, what was your motivation? Like, and some people will be like, yeah, man, I was doing it for my grandma. You know what I'm saying? I was trying to buy my mama a house, and I was trying to do all of these things, and I was thinking, damn, I was trying to do the same thing as well, but that wasn't my main drive. My main drive is because it was you versus me, and I don't want to lose. Fuck that house. Like, I just don't want you to say, yeah, I beat him. Hell no. Fuck that house and fuck everything. Like, man, I'm trying to win. And then the other stuff came second. So I feel like Terrence Crawford is more along those lines. And so we shall see how it goes. And I could be a little bit biased, whatever. But I think the keys for Spence is to do what he always do, right? Because at the end of the day, what you always do, the reps that you always do, how you fight, is gonna be how you fight. You know what I'm saying? Like when the things get tough, you know what I'm saying? When things get tough, you resort back to your habits. And so each fighter is gonna have to resort back to their habits. Like, you know what I'm saying? And like I hear some people breaking down the fight, they're like, oh, you never seen Spence or Crawford do these type of things, and they're gonna just do it when no, y'all ain't athletes. Like, it don't work like that. You do what you do. That's all you really can do. Yeah, you might have a little couple variations where you brought some shit out of nowhere, or you brought some things out that you didn't quite rep a lot, but for the most part, bro, it don't work like that. You gonna do, and you gonna thrive where you thrive. And so for Spence, the keys is the jab. He got to make that jab work. He got to make that jab work to where he don't let Crawford counter his jab too much, and he don't let Crawford take away his jab, because then he'll be fighting in a way that he don't really normally fight. And remember, when he was doing that with Sean Porter, he was arguably losing the fight, right? And he figured it out, and that's why he's great, because that's what the greats have. They had the ability to figure it out, to do something, even though you might not have all of the reps, but once you download it, you know what I'm saying, it's there. And so I think his jab is gonna be important. The jab to get to the inside. He's gonna use that jab to back Crawford up and corner him. And once you got him cornered, he gotta attack the body. He gotta go to Crawford's body to break him down. And he does a good job of level changing, going to the body, jabbing to get close, going to the body, and then later on, that'll open up, when he jab, get close, that'll open up the headshot once you get Crawford to drop his hands. If he can get Crawford to drop his hands, which chances are he gonna land a couple of those shots. Also for Spence, he gonna have to take a couple shots from Crawford to get his shots off, and he just got to do more damage in those situations where he might take a shot or two, but Crawford gonna take a shot or two or three or four, and they gonna be more damaging. And I think he got a rough bud up. You know what I'm saying? Like No respect, no buddy. I mean, rough but up like he's done no other fighter. Like, almost to the point where he cheating, right? And when I say cheating, I don't mean cheating like steroids or you like holding somebody's head and punching them. I think he should do all of that stuff too. Hit Crawford in the back of the head, get the warning. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because you want to push Crawford to the point of not being mad within the fight. Like, you know, because you know when him and Spence, right? When they either one of them get hit, you can tell they get kind of mad. They want their lick back, right? I ain't talking about that kind of mad where you just, you know, sweet science and boom, you catch him with something and now he mad. I mean, cheat, like hit him in the back of the head, man. Hit him low one time. Like, let him know, like, bitch ass nigga, like, I ain't got no respect for you. And once you get Bud on that type of time, it's going to take away from his wanting to get his lick back in the sport. It's going to put him in another element where I don't think he going to be able to think and react that's clear, and he going to take it to a different type of level that's not going to be conducive to winning a boxing match and winning a fight versus Errol Spence. And that's fighting with too much emotion, fighting with that certain type of emotion. Like, if he can get Bud to fight like that, oh man, I think that's his best chance, honestly. And when I say cheat as well, like within the flow of the fight, you know what I mean? Like, you know how sometimes a fighter will, to get out of being hit, he would duck below the opponent's waist. You know what I'm saying? That's actually an illegal move. But it's like nobody gonna stop the fighter. Nobody gonna say you won or lost because I lost because he was ducking too low. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's just like nobody gonna make that excuse. So I think you need to do stuff like that. And for Spence, that looks like punching Crawford on that hip. You know what I'm saying? Punching him wherever you can punch him. Hit him with a low blow. Hit him to the if he duck or move, hit him in the back of the head. Like, almost like it's an accident because Crawford turned, but like, nah, nigga, I'm hitting you everywhere. Like, I'm finna rough you up and you gonna think I'm cheating. So after the fight, when Crawford lose, he gonna be like, this motherfucker cheated, and then it's gonna be a whole conspiracy on and the Spence fans gonna say, nah, nigga, he didn't cheat, you got whooped. Fair and square. And I haven't seen anybody with this kind of prediction for Spence, for him to win. You know, I've heard everybody just talking about within the realm of a fight. You know what I'm saying? Counter punching, getting inside jab. Like, I've heard all of those breakdowns, but I ain't heard nobody say, yo, Spence got to get a little dirty. He got to get a little dirty with Terrence. Yeah, get dirty with him and get Crawford off of his game, and then now you got him. You know what I'm saying? Now you got him where you want him, not able to think. And because we know Crawford is a thinker, he trying to measure and dial shit up. So once you distract him from that, you got action. You know, I think the X factor for Spence, in the actual fight, is being able to fight backing up a little bit. Right, and I've seen Spence, not a lot, but I've seen him throw that counter right hook and the check right hook with somebody coming in, and it looked good. It looked, you know, obviously his speed is not, you know, amazing, but he looked like he had great timing on it and great power on it. So I think if he can fight backing up a little bit and catch Crawford with that counter right or that check right hook, when Crawford do decide to push forward, I think that'll be huge for Spence. But for the most part, that's how I see Spence winning this fight in my head. The keys for Bud, I think, is doing what he does all the time and what he does so great. I think, and when I watch other fights, I don't see other fighters able to do it at his level. And that's fight backing up. That's to keep your power backing up, getting out of range, and then back into range to land and back out of range, bro. That shit is that's like that's a huge skill. It's gonna be hard for Spence to beat that, because even when he jab and try to come in, Crawford can back up and still and then counter him. And Spence, you know, he throw them punches, he leaning forward thinking he gonna land. He not gonna be able to counter that. Like, that's not what he do. That ain't what he do. Like I said in the beginning, you do what you do. Like, this is, you're not finna. He ain't gonna be able to do that at a high enough click to be successful. So fight backing up, man. That's what Crawford gonna have to fight backing up, keep that space and counter. Keep the fight mid-range to outside as much as possible. You know what I'm saying? Because Crawford, I think he just got a little bit of a better feel from the outside than Spence, and we know Spence want to get on the inside. So he don't really fight on the outside too much. Obviously he can, but that's not his thing, right? So fight, and then on the mid-range, Crawford can land some punches, slip, counter. You know, he can do his thing on the mid-range. Another thing for Crawford, don't let Spence set his feet too much, right? Because there'll be times where it'll happen. Spence will set his feet and he gonna get his shit off. He gonna get his shots off to the head, to the body, to everything. And I think Crawford has to minimize that. Don't let Spence set his feet too much and pound away, and don't let him trap him, because Spence is good at using that jab to back you up, and then once he corner you against the ropes, then he gonna do his damage. So Crawford got to be able to escape. You know what I'm saying? Escape those moments without taking too much damage. We seen Sean Porter have a little bit of success on turning Spence, and Crawford has multitude of ways to get out of harm's way. He can use his feet and just lateral movement and get away. He can kind of punch when Spence punches and then wrap up, or he can slip and turn and get on the outside. So he got ways, and he gonna have to use a multitude of those ways to get out of harm's way. And then when it is an inside fight, when Spence make it an inside fight and he put that head down on Crawford's chest and put that weight on him, Crawford is going to have to man up, and he going to have to use everything he have to keep Spence off of him and win some of those exchanges, win some of those sequences. And that'll go a long way for the judges too, to see Crawford win on the inside, because we know Spence on the inside is doggy. So if he actually wins some of those exchanges on the inside, it'll look good for the judges and for the people watching. Like, damn, we know Spence win on the inside, but he just lost that one. And same for Crawford, right? With Spence on the outside. If you see Spence win some exchanges from the outside, that'll go a long way for the judges, and that'll hurt Bud's look to the fans on if you winning or not. Like, because we know you're supposed to win on the outside. So if you lose on the outside, that gives a lot of credit to Spence. Crawford's X factor is, I think he got to take the lead sometime. You know, because a lot of times he wait for you to punch and he punch through, or he counter punch. I think Bud has to back Spence up, like back him up and win some of those sequences, and that'll look good for the judges and for the people too, because we know Spence don't back up. He don't fight backing up. So if he has to fight backing up too much, it ain't gonna look good. So yeah, Crawford got to take the lead on that sometimes and push Crawford back. I think it's gonna be a great fight. I'm going Crawford though. I'm going Crawford. I just watched his workout. I think his mentality, not wanting to lose more than he wanted to win, is gonna give him a competitive advantage in this fight. I can't wait to see it though, man. I can't wait to see how it unfolds. Cause I've been listening to everybody's prediction. Everybody think they know. We all like inaccurate. It's not going to necessarily go the way anybody is predicting it. Some people might have some big elements of the fight, but for the most part, the ins and outs and all of the punches that's going to be thrown and landed and slipped and countered, we don't really know how that's going to go. But it's going to be a good one, man. I think it's going to be good no matter what. Even if it's a chess move fight out, no matter what, it's going to be phenomenal. Can't wait to see it. July 29th, buy the pay-per-view. Everybody support this. Two of our fighters, two American fighters, two black guys, African American, whatever y'all want to call it, so-called quote unquote black African American guys, but indigenous guys. You know what I'm saying? They really American like that, and they from this landmass, so they got some special qualities, special type of dog, a special type of athletic gene, a special type of heart. Right, and you see it from all of our great athletes, man. I can name Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, Shaq, all of our performers, Denzel, Malcolm X. Like, let's go on. They flip a coin, get on Google, name them. It's us doing that. Like, and Terrence Crawford and Earl Spence is the epitome of that representation, and so it's going down, man. And I can't wait to see it. May the best man win, man. It's your boy Beastie, and I'm out. Chair. You're